It's December 20th, 2020. And this is the day before the solstice. And if you look at the news, you would probably come to the conclusion very quickly that this is the end. It's all come to pass as I was informed in these messages. These messages came from the perspective of getting to know yourself within, because that was going to be the only way that you would be able to see and know the truth of what was actually going on, rather than be caught in the crossfire of this massive war occurring now. And the calm, clear, balanced voices, the ones who can see, and whose work it is to inspire others to go within and reorient and see we are not as visible as the other angry voices, angry opinions. I realized a year ago or so that there isn't anything that we can do for those who choose to keep providing, giving energy to the warring factions, their favorite team. That there's a large population that is unreachable. Even if we were demonstrating, what would appear to be magic in front of people's eyes, maybe a few would experience a breakthrough, which, for someone to feel love, is the breakthrough. If one can let down the armor enough to allow love to penetrate their heart, it will change them enough that they will begin to reorient to love. I observe here that people don't talk about love enough. Most people don't know what it is, just as they don't know what God is, truly. They have the information they were pummeled with upon arriving here in new little bodies and born into belief systems. They just dressed up in, like clothes, like wardrobe, and not being exposed much to much else. They just continue on proudly, clinging to belief systems which I was shown quite often by this inner intelligence. A belief, or when we believe, is just leaving your being. And as soon as you are convinced to leave your being, that is when you're compromised. So it's December 20th and 2020 and all indicators within me point to, a big change. And how we relate to our inner self, our soul, will determine, which line you're sent to, which world, which trajectory you're sent to. I've written about this so much. It's a reminder here. It's not some outside God deciding or judging which direction you go. It's your energy that decides which path you will continue to explore. And it won't be clear to those who don't have the eyes to see. It will just continue to be as, muddy and confusing and foggy, whatever adjectives you want to use. It will continue to be confusing. What is occurring now is a reset, but not in any definition that you would find popular on the internet. It's a reset that seems to occur every 13,000 years, 26,000 year cycles. Whether you're referring to the Mayan calendar or other precession of the equinox, it's a time of reset, new world, new sun. And we're in that now. I brought through a translation message last Sunday. It says, I transcribed it, the audio. And you've been given an opportunity in these times, in these crossroads, to sink further within your own consciousness, to get to know thyself. With the outer world no longer operating as it always has, you are being released from the old construct. You're floating in the spaces in between worlds. This is where all of your potentiality is. And then it goes on to say that, if you can see it, if you can sense it, if you can accept this and walk into this new potentiality, that's a different trajectory. But I sense that it is most of the population. It goes on to say that if the beliefs that came from the construct are too strong, and you're not, and you're believing, you're leaving your being to align with something that's not from your core, you'll go along the lines of staying with that programming, to be afraid and disconnected from that power source within you, placed within your design. That centuries upon centuries of these creating this kind of virtual reality or program to harvest humanity's energy in this way because they don't know how incredibly powerful they are. And they have given themselves over to an outside authority because they are so wounded and have such low self-esteem from this programming that they are unable to feel it. See, that's the key. That's what I'm not hearing out there in the narratives. The narratives will always engage with your mental awareness. And that's just a never-ending loop, potentially, because you don't get any new information. You don't get any, you're not utilizing this inner technology, this soul technology within you to receive data in an entirely different way or holistic way. And it has a way of filling you in. It just fills you in. You know the truth that sets you free. If we continue to follow the programming that it is the mental interpretations of reality that we align with and defer to, one doesn't necessarily see that you're only setting yourself up to lather, rinse, repeat. There's no way out of that. And even the, just this automatic deference to the authority being of the intellect, and it must look and sound a certain way, that is also a hook to stay here and convince yourselves that you are actually making a difference. And while it is interesting and fascinating the way you rearrange the puzzle pieces that you are working with, you rearrange them in a way that we can go, I never looked at it from that view. That's so interesting. And that has value. But unless it inspires someone to dig deep within themselves and engage consciously with this presence, then you'll, just kind of puff yourself up and be prideful that you are so intelligent and you have managed to put the puzzle pieces together in a way that, wows people. And that's cool. But what about love? Why don't I hear about love in all of your pontificating, in all of your analysis? At this crossroads, at this plateau, we should all be praying to feel love, because it's love that lifts us out of this smaller view. Love fills you in. So that you may know what you need to know when you need to know it. It doesn't come through thought. Transcending this paradigm does not occur in the intellect. It occurs when you realize that something is missing. And something has been missing, not only in your life, but in your ancestors' lives. And how do you bridge to something that you're not even aware exists, that you're having a mental relationship with, to have a definition and a conceptual view of what love is the problem. You must feel love in order to be transformed by it. So this is the conundrum, when we all get to this outer wall that contains this big human experiment, and frankly, harvesting program. There really isn't an escape on the level that you're living and pontificating about, and having intelligent conversations about how we can, move into a new paradigm. I think there's so many brilliant people who are having these wonderful conversations. I used to listen to them a lot. But then my body grew weary of the mental chatter. My body knows what love is. My body has been touched by this divine love. I know what we're connected to. And ever since I've had, the deeper experience that some people refer to as Kundalini, or the Maya call Koyopa, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters is that if you are touched by this, then by all means, dialogue with it. Learn from it. Engage with it. That's when you begin to use the consciousness that you were given. Apply it. Change your consciousness. Continue to change your consciousness. Evolve it. So that, and what I translated through these frequency messages is you're not coming up to, a big evolutionary transformation. What the opportunity is here in this, this amniotic sac between worlds, before the new sun, is you can remember how to talk to the field, how to talk to source. And once that conversation starts happening, you are engaged. You are giving it your attention. This is where all the messages came from, is I followed this practice that was shown to me in real time when I was meditating, praying. It was just here. All of a sudden it's here, and it shows me, just keep doing this and you will remember who you actually are, what your original design is, so that you can transcend this looping reality. See, everybody's trying to fix it on the level of your awareness. Until you're infused and rebooted with your original consciousness that you were designed to work with, then you are not helping. You are not lifting anyone out of this, including yourself. Even if you're so frickin' brilliant, the way you put puzzle pieces together. There's more. And it's called love. It's your soul. And right now, there's a war for your soul. You need to know that. You know, there are others like me here who've had help waking up, who've had help remembering. We call us experiencers maybe, or those who have, had an event where they came back online and they see and they know and they remember. It doesn't matter what you call any of this. These definitions don't matter to this presence. It doesn't care, if you call it Kundalini. It doesn't care if you call it visits from non-human intelligence. It doesn't care if you call it enlightenment. It wants to meet you and help you remember. So there are those of us here that have had to come to this place of understanding and awareness. Myself, but, part of my whole life has been, document this. Make sure you document this. That came from a deep place of guidance, inner guidance, because I would just be doing it. And later I'd reflect and go, why am I hitting record or writing all this out or blogging about it? Why do I keep doing this? And there's so much energy to do it. It's not, it comes from, it's pure inspiration that I have to look back and go, look what I just did. Look what I just said. So I say that to make my point that that's the way it happens for me. And other people might have other ways and other audiences, if you will, to reach, to inspire. I've learned, pretty recently, like in the past year or so, that I just can't reach people who are super intellectual because they're locked into that. That's the armor that they wear, and they don't realize they're wearing this, I will protect myself from the crazy witch woman or whatever, this is evil. Well, if they're scientists, they wouldn't be calling it evil. They'd be saying, well, that is, that's ridiculous, right? And so there's no way for me to reach people who are locked inside of their thoughts. Because they have expectations for their data. It must sound and look a certain way. I was able to experience being touched by this love so many times in my life, and there are no words for it here. And if there are words, it ends up sounding, I was judged as a love and lighter, in the ufology groups when I tried to interact and build community there. I stopped that a long time ago. There's no, when people lock into their ideologies, they're all competing. It's like, mine's the best. This is the most interesting, and I'm the most knowledgeable. And when they say knowledgeable, understand they're getting their data from what exists. I'm speaking about connecting to the field, to the data that is eliminated here because of the programming. And keeping people wounded with this programming, they will never rediscover this. Because even if they have, a beautiful, surprise, mystical experience, once they return, they have an opportunity to integrate it. But if they reject it because they, I need to make a living, I won't get funding if I, talk about this. That's a choice. You're saying, I choose this construct, I choose this system over love, over an ecstatic experience of love, because it doesn't fit in the construct. And just really, I encourage you to really look at that. It's the judgment that keeps you from transcending this final wall. A lot of people, their consciousness is at this perimeter or, near it. The most humans ever, in this time of the shift between worlds. But if you're judging yourself and other people, if you hear a judgment coming out of your mouth, stop and say, I'm asking for your help to reframe this into love. This goes for judging yourself too. Stop. I pray, I ask this divine love, this perfect peace to help me now. Help me to reframe my consciousness. Help me to remember love. Now, if you've listened to some of or read some of my sharings, you know that when I speak of love, it's not about Valentine's Day. It's not about boy-girl, boy-boy, girl-girl, whatever. I'm talking about a context that has been long forgotten, buried inside of your bodies. It's here. It's inside you. And if you cannot develop an interest to investigate it, then that's a judgment. You are making a judgment, and so therefore your life goes down the course of the programming, of what was set up for you, so that you can keep contributing, giving your energy, your value to something that just laughs at you. They try to and are successful in reframing your consciousness, because you were not designed this way. You are actually giving your power to something that has nowhere near the level of power that you have. You've been duped. You've been tricked. And the trick was to get you to believe that there's no such thing as soul and love outside of concepts. And so your wounding is used to continue to trick you. And it's very, very easy to trick you repeatedly if you are wounded. But I'm not saying, this isn't a marketing program here or a referral, a platform for referrals to get you healed. No, it's too late for all of that. Right now, in this moment, on the day before the solstice, the only thing you have is prayer and surrender to love. Even if you can't feel love, even if you can't feel the presence of your source, of the angels, of the field itself, if you can't feel any of that, which is the way it connects with you, then pray like hell. Because I'm here and others are here to tell you that love is real and it exists and it's inside of you. It's in your body. You will feel it erupt within you when you engage with it. That is all that is required. But how much programming have you been through that tells you that that's demonic or stupid or what would people think? That's okay. Make your choice. That's where we are right now. Make your choice to move with a very clear track for humanity without soul. That's what you will be exploring. You will reduce even further or eliminate your feeling nature when you choose to stay with the construct. If you choose love, you will be carried forward. But you must consistently choose love. One must choose love repeatedly until one feels it. One must trust. All of our great teachers taught these things. But look how twisted it all got. Look how easy it was to manipulate human consciousness. Those who feel love and choose love consistently and act on love and share love and create from love, they cannot be fooled. They see the truth. They know the truth that sets them free. So, I have been framing what I have learned. I have been framing it in a variety of ways. And I realize I can't do that anymore. I can't try to reach people through their own frames. That's over. We're here. And whatever way that I might continue to show up in your reality, for those who are interested in discovering this, I invite you on this journey of remembrance. What I have to offer is not something for you to have a relationship with as an image, as a story. What I want to help you with is to rediscover this light, this force, this current that is you. So I'm in the process of trying to redefine myself yet again with a new website. So stay tuned. And in some form of gatherings to give you an opportunity to feel this. I don't know what platform is best yet. But I'm just going to start saying it like it is. I can't play around with this anymore. I can't clothe it in ways that you might see it. This is the time that everyone is choosing. Do you want to move forward and transform and remember who you are? Or do you want to go ahead and see what the construct has in mind for you? It isn't either or out there. It is in or out. Are you in with your original design, your creator? Are you in with love? Or are you going with your preferred reality out there? That reality that can easily manipulate you because you don't know who you are. Choose love. And it will inform you. Many solstice blessings to you. 'Tis the season.